Hi everyone, I am Catherine from Buggalena Embroidery Designs, and I want to welcome you to my tutorial. I am so excited to share this with you. As a little background history, I've been sewing for many years now, and I like to trace my sewing patterns and then use a rotary cutter to cut them out. And for many years, I've been using big, heavy washers to hold down my patterns. Love the function of these because they cover a wider area. They're nice and heavy, and it allows me to use my rotary cutter without worrying about fabric moving. Now, I've often thought about this and I'm like, how can I make these washers prettier? You know, if you know me and you've seen my live video of my sewing room, I like to put everything on the walls and those always look goofy. I did try covering some with some ribbon and did not turn out perfectly, and can't really personalize it, and as an embroiderer I love things that are personalized. So the other day I got to thinking, I'm like, how can I make in the hoop covers for these? And I thought of something and I've been so excited. I've kind of like hardly slept in the last 2 days, so don't mind the appearance. I probably have some bags going on. This is what I came up with. They are little in the hoop sleeves. It's all done in one hooping. The great thing about these is that you can utilize anything and everything in your sewing room to make them. They have a little pocket in the back where you slide in the washer. You can glue that shut if you want. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to leave them open in case I change my colors or something in my sewing room. Each design will come with 3 sizes. We have the 2.5 inch washer size, 3.5 inch washer size, and 4.5 inch washer size. Aren't they cute? You can hang them up, and if you know me, I'm the nail girl. There's always a hammer and nails in my sewing room. Let's see. Here's another one of the patterns. I think it's so cute. I'm going to make another one, and I think I'm going to put my name or initials or something on there. I love this one. So, before we get started, I want to point out the fact that you don't have to use these just for sewing patterns. My mind has been racing. There's so many other fun things you can do with these. This is what I've done so far. This one, I added a piece of ribbon in my hoop before the final step, and this one I added a bunch of little wonder clips, so I'm hanging this one right next to my multi-needle embroidery machine, and actually it'll be between that and my workstation, so I can quick and easy grab a wonder clip and clip something when I'm in a hurry, something's getting in the way of the machine. I think it's cute, and it says Buggalena and has my little caterpillar on it. Okay, yes, I'm a nerd, so love it. Okay, now this one I just added a solid backing to, and then I put in some little treasures that all mean something to me. I love FOE, so there's a piece of FOE and it says dream. Then there's one of my bows that I use for my pencil toppers, a key because I love key fobs, sewing needles because I love sewing, a shoe clip for the history because that was one of the first things I used to do, is make wristbands with cam snaps. So there's a cam snap in there, and I would take shoe clips and I would put those on the back of the felties I would design, and then I would put those on the wristband. one of my Buggalena sewing labels, and an embroidery needle, because, you know, of course, I love embroidery. So this one is just going to go right on my wall for decoration, inspiration when I'm working. What I did was I took a piece of marine vinyl and I laid that down, and then I added a clear piece of vinyl on top of this. I had found some remnants at Walmart. Oh, I forgot. See the little pin in there? That little tiny safety pin was my mom's, so a little memory of my mom. Okay. Alright. What was I going to say? Yeah, remnant, Walmart, wanted to try out using clear vinyl. I got like 3 different remnants with different thicknesses, and I grabbed one of those to try it out. Love it. Plan on doing more. I think I might make something for my kids like this, and maybe I'll do a different shape. Anyway, back to the program here. Now, this one, another sewing weight, nice and real heavy. This one I wanted to test out cotton fabric. This is just cotton fabric, and I ironed on vinyl fuse to the front, and I ironed on heat and bond light to the back of the cotton fabric, and then I just used felt on the very back. Very cool. And first I wanted to have like some really cute cotton print of like some sewing notions or something, and I looked through my fabric and I'm like, yeah, we're like 99% kid-oriented fabric here. So I figured this also works for me because I feel like I have to be super mom lately. Tough times. And if you look at the wow and you turn it upside down, of course it says mom, so, okay. Alright, now we've established I'm a dork already, but you guys will love me anyway, right? Okay, so, I have shown you some of my samples. Oh, I didn't show you this one, did I? Another little Buggalena one. This one's got the weight in it, and this one I'm definitely using. Okay. I'm going to set those aside right now. Talking about supplies. I used anything and everything I could find. These were some trims I had gotten 50% off at Hobby Lobby one time. Pieces of my mom's old rickrack. It's so old, it has like different colors, but it worked great. Little tiny ribbons I've had, like, I think since my scrapbooking days. I even used on this tester an old piece of, I want to say crusty elastic, because it's kind of scratchy, which, okay, it's probably not crusty, but, okay, so you could just use what you find in your sewing room. These are so easy and fun. FOE, remember that's fold over elastic. If you need to know more about fold over elastic, you can Google it or just come on over to our Buggalena group on Facebook, and we will definitely help you out in learning all about FOE. Love the stuff. I have it on my wall, in my drawers. Let's see. Take 2 seconds and just talk about the washers. Got these ones, and here in Wisconsin we have a farm and fleet. There's also Fleet Farm in some areas, and I'm sure there's like Grangers. You can get these at those locations. You can also order them online. I'm going to provide links in the YouTube description and also in the Buggalena Facebook group. So don't worry, we will find you washers if you decide to do this fun project with us. Okay, so to get started, I have hooped a sheet of cutaway. This time I'm going with cutaway because it's a little thicker, and with having the hanger on them, I wanted to give it a little more extra stability. So we're using cutaway this time around. And 1 second, I forgot to load my design, so I'm pausing you for 1 sec. Oh, where's the pause button? Okay, I'm over here. I moved my machine, so hopefully you can see that better as we do this demonstration. A couple things I wanted to mention. Another idea for these is use the smaller ones and skip the washer, and you can make little ornaments and make a little sewing tree for your sewing room. I thought that'd be cute. I have so many ideas. Okay, so I have just loaded my design, and the first thing it's going to stitch is your placement stitch. I'm just going to go ahead and let the black run. Keep in mind we're doing the largest one, the 4.5 jumbo washer, and this one requires a 5x7 hoop, but the two more normal size ones, these ones only require a 4x4 hoop. So now I'm going to pull this out to show you 3 things. This horizontal guide is going to come in play near the end, but see this little extra line here? This is where you want to put your ribbon, or you can use a piece of elastic, a piece of yarn. Really, the possibilities are endless for what you want to use there. I'm going to go ahead and use a little piece of my mom's rickrack, and I'm trying to see how you're going to see this better, but I'm going to just take a small piece of embroidery tape. I'm going to take my rickrack and lay them close together, put a piece of tape on it, and then I'm going to lay that all the way near the top of that line. Doesn't have to be perfect. The next step is a little set of stitches that's just going to go in the same spot as that one. And really, this is probably not even necessary because the final outline is reinforced, so this is just double secured, especially since we're using the weight of the washer in there. Okay, so that just stitched that down. To avoid less bulk, I recommend you take the tape off at this point. Not necessary depending on what fabric you're using. And you could even trim that a little closer if you wanted, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it on. Okay, the next step in this one is going to stitch a part of the design. So what do you think we need to do? We need to put down some vinyl. This one I'm using today is regular glitter vinyl, not my usual mirror canvas vinyl that I love. I also love this, and I really love this for these projects. So I am going to go ahead and lay that down. You want to make sure you're covering that whole circle by at least a ½ inch all the way around. So yes, it's going to overlap a little bit of this hanger, but you're going to be trimming later, so don't worry about that. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that down, and I'm just going to grab a couple pieces of embroidery tape to secure that down on my hoop. And I'm going to go ahead and put my hoop back in. And for this one, it is doing a sewing needle, so I'm actually going to change my color over to a gray real quick. Okay, where's the pause button? Here we go. Okay, didn't even really need to pause it because I turned around and the silver was right next to me, so we're going to go with silver. I just put it on, and I'm going to go ahead, lower my presser foot, and push start. Okay. I'm going to stop it and then trim it after it gets out of the way a little bit. Does that drive anyone else nuts when you see that thread hanging there? I can't take it anymore. I gotta trim it. Oh, better. You guys do realize I know nothing about videos, and like I'm using my cell phone. I wish I had like a little remote and one of those fancy cameras, but yeah, that's not anywhere near in the budget. So you'll have to bear with me because I've been trying to figure out how to like crop parts of videos out, and I can't even figure it out. Okay, next step is it's going to stitch the wording. And I love this one. So I'm going to go ahead and trim my silver thread. Always trim your thread from the top and then pull through your machine this way. Otherwise you can mess up your tension. So I'm going to grab some black here. And I'm going to go ahead and thread that. Okay. The nice thing about the way I digitized the wording is there's very few jump stitches, which is always nice. Ah! That tail's too long. Must trim those. Yes, we hear you. Oops, yeah, you ain't. Press your foot up. See, because my tail was so long, my tail just got in there. So I'm just going to quickly take that out. So much better. Okay, foot down. Back on the road. Okay, I think I'll pause it for you so you don't have to watch all these words stitch. I'll be right back after it's done. Okay, it just finished stitching the words. And I just got to show you real quick how beautiful is that. I hope you can see it's gorgeous. So the next thing it wants to stitch is a heart above the letter I. So I'm going to change my thread over to red, cutting at the top, pulling from the bottom, and I'm going to change that to red real quick. Yeah. Those little jump stitches. Now, my machine actually, it didn't grab the thread right away when it did the heart. So I'm going to actually back it up a color. And I'm going to have it do the heart over. And I think I'm going to pull out a little bit of a tail and hold it. So we're going to go back to that. Because I'm not happy with what my machine just did. And it did it again. And just so you know, on my first test stitch, it did stitch the heart fully, so not sure why it's being finicky right now. So we will ignore that. Okay, the next step we want to do is remove our hoop. And now we have, ooh, look at this mess. Okay, so we need 2 pieces of felt. And here's where that horizontal guideline comes in. You can lay them edge to edge there, or you can choose to overlap it a little bit. It's entirely up to you. Then what you want to do, and of course this is optional as well, is take a piece of elastic. In this case I'm using FOE, which is fold over elastic, and I like to lay that over that and then use some embroidery tape to tape it down. Now when I go to tape the elastic over it, I only pull just enough to make it lay flat. You don't want to pull too hard, because then when you're done, your design is going to bunch. I'm going to add one more little piece, I think, here, because that's the side where my hoop goes on first. Okay, that's all there is to it. And now you can stitch the final step. I'm going to use red again. Hopefully my head wasn't in the way this whole time. I think I'll pause it for you again so you don't have to watch the whole thing. Okay, my machine says finish sewing. Okay. So you can go ahead and remove your project from your hoop. And my phone says storage almost full. Okay, one sec. I think I need to pause it and make more storage on my phone. Okay, sorry about that. I just deleted a whole bunch of stuff off my phone. Hopefully nothing important. Anyway, if you noticed when I pulled it out, the heart was all there. The issue is because I'm sitting next to my machine and this is vinyl, the stitches sink down into the vinyl at times. You know, it's funny because I had a sheet of water-soluble stabilizer next to me and I thought, I don't think I need it. So obviously that heart wanted it. So that water-soluble stabilizer is great because it helps keep your stitches from sinking in as much, and then you can quickly tear off the excess and wipe it with a damp cloth and it takes it right off. Anyway, yeah, we already established I'm a dork, right? So anyway, alright, the next step is we are going to remove this from our hoop. And then I am going to try to move the camera so you can see how I'm going to cut this. Hello. We're going to move downward. Okay. Well, it's not working like I planned. The first thing I like to do is rough cut. And I'm just going to try to take away as much bulk as I can. Be careful, do not cut your little hanger. But I want to get as much of that bulk off as I can. So it's easier for me to hold on to and cut. And then there's one other thing, oh, hopefully you can still see this. One other thing I like to do on these is when I'm cutting and I hit that FOE, it, I don't know, kind of makes me stop and stall and think I'm doing something wrong. So, I don't know. I just like to trim that close on both sides. Okay. Another thing I like to do is I'm holding down my little hanger and I'm going to take off some of the excess bulk there too. Okay. So now I'm going to get my actual cutting scissors and I'm going to start cutting. I'm going to hold my little hanger in my hand and I'm going to start right around there, so it's a reminder to me that there's something special going on in that section. And again, I am turning with my left hand and cutting with my right. I love this one so much. I cannot wait to do some sewing soon. I was really hoping to have a sewing weekend this weekend, but then I found out that my 10-year-old has a volleyball tournament. So Saturday she has to play 3 games, and then depending on where they place there, we play again on Sunday. Now keep in mind, right now it is about midnight. And oops, I'm not paying attention talking to you guys. I almost cut off my little hanger. So anyway, we had a game tonight. I am exhausted. It's almost midnight. And we have a game tomorrow night. And we have practice on Thursday. So this is going to be one crazy week. Sad part is it affects my little guy's bedtime, so he went to bed a little later than usual tonight. So I'm sure he'll be a joy to get up in the morning. So, as you can see, oh, I missed a little spot right there. And that is a tie-off stitch. I like to trim those off. And we picked up a pink fuzzy. Because you know, there is no such thing as a sewing room without fuzzies everywhere, right? Okay, so there it is in its awesome glory. The next thing I do is I take my FOE and I just flip it over to the back. And I grab a washer, and you're just going to insert it into the back. Oops, sorry, I gotta set it down for a sec. So basically you're inserted it, and then you're gonna dress it by pulling your little flap over. So now I have that flap, and then just bring your FOE back over to the back. Now I added the FOE on mine because let's say I'm sewing or I'm cutting out a pattern and I've placed them the other way or whatever. I also thought it'd be a quick way to grab it, and it's cute. And have I mentioned I just really love FOE? I really do. Okay, and here we go. You have a adorable sewing pattern weight. And my phone says storage almost full. How can that be? I just deleted a ton of stuff. Someone needs to come visit me and help me not be so technically challenged. Okay, so that is all there is to those. Again, another easy Buggalena design. If you have any questions, please ask in our group, or definitely use the website contact form that goes to myself and my assistants, and one of us will get back to you as soon as we can. Any other questions? Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll make them. I think they are going to make great Christmas gifts. I have an idea of one set I want to make for my friend Melissa, who actually taught me how to sew. I was thinking about doing 4 of the medium ones and putting like her initials in them or something, and then 4 of the ones with the designs. I just thought it'd be cute. Anyway, thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you in the Facebook group or hearing from you from our website. Thank you so much.